So really, like, where to begin? Might as well start there. So our contributor started telling me about the Eagles blackout, and it was on 11/27/22. Remember Trump times 69. He's the 163,464 because he's 6 times 14 times 1946. You times him by that 69. There's your 11/27. So they definitely coded it because 11/27 is big. That's Daniel 9/27. November 27th is anyway. And let me see. So it goes back to 332 days left of my Groundhog Day divorce, 2009. From that divorce, moving forward, it was 66688 with a 69 dead in the middle. And there's a 98 also in there for the 98th verse, which is your crowning Bible verse, White Horse Bible verse. Candlestick Park had a blackout. Steelers, which is Gotham's team. The bottomless pit, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers, iron mixing with clay. So Steelers, of course, are Satan's team. They're all Satan's team. They're all signaled for Satan. But that was Gotham's team in The Dark Knight Rises. Big Ben was featured in The Dark Knight Rises. And so there was a game against the Niners. And Big Ben, of course, would stand for London, England. Remember, the blackout occurred. Upper right, upper middle here, 28/6, 286. Upper right up here where my cursor is, 13:22 left in the game. Well, that's Valentine's Day on the second month. February 13th, Valentine's Day is what it's coding for you. It's what it's signaling for you. Or of their predictive programming, the blackout game, they featured Batman. Well, what do you know about that? Batman, the Illuminati's Antichrist. Philadelphia Eagles blackout, November 27, 2022. And lastly, a friend of mine sent me this, and I'll go grab my cell phone while you're looking at it, while you're reading it. So I've got some stuff on my cell phone I thought to look at, thought to show y'all. And yeah, it's super cool and interesting, huh? Look at that Pro Bowl giving you the yoni. Upside down pentagram bottom right there. Pro Bowl games. There's your divine feminine, your yoni, which is, of course, your female reproductive, the divine feminine. But Telling Truth 3, which I hope y'all are all subscribed to. I got a 1:42 video there about how it's called the trigger clause, the trigger for the quarterback of the right eye wound Raiders going to the Jets symbology. Raiders, Jets, Heidi Bowl, Heidi game, Jets hitting Twin Towers, all that kind of stuff. So be sure to check that video out. You know that Bane said, "Let the games begin." Can't wait to get this comments here. Love it. And mainly it's Christian, and we got one other person here, so we will definitely get to that. So I want to look at some dates for you. I know somebody, I want to get into this Super Bowl 57 and Eve coding, and just, we remember that. Let's do the visual. So we know that Eve is in 7 and 11. And of course, L, which is one of their big words for trying to bring the false narrative of gods, plural, which we know there's only one supreme God, the God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But Elohim, we do know, also includes the angels. And of course, that's their god, the fallen angel, Lucifer, who is shapeshifted to the female goddess Lucifer. Venus and Lucifer are one and the same. Venus is female. I just want to give you some visuals of what we're looking at. If I can slide this up, this bar up here. So in the number 7 up here at the top in green, you see the Eve in the number 7. Okay, I changed it to the tan at the top. So that's a number 7, and Eve is in the middle of that. So Eve is in your number 7. Then down here, your number 11, Eve is in that. So 711 is 77. Is Eve coding big time. 77 is Eve coding gigantically, big time. Now, the Eagles' blackout to the game is 77 days. The Eagles blackout on November 27, 2022 to Super Bowl Sunday, February 12, 2023. It's 77 days, 2 months, 16 days, 216, heavily coded. Now, I want to take you back to my marriage number of 5 times GOD. It's 3577. 5th Super Bowl 57 with the 77. 357, of course, is a weapon. Now, that was my marriage number. Number 5, 3577. Our former contributor, let me see here. What am I thinking of? They told us about, our former contributor talked about, what was it? I can't think of, I think it was Marlon Brando. And how all of his coding, and we'll get back to that. I'm sorry I jumped to that. So somebody who's passed on that was a very close family member. They passed away in August. And their birthday, which is actually when the situation began in their life, sadly, their number is August times 29th times 1973. They have the 4577 in their number, and they did pass away. Very, very tragically. You see the 4577 in the family member. I know somebody else whose birthday is 4/20, April 20th, which is coming total solar eclipse, 1972. And they have Adam and Eve coded with the 77 and the 76. We told you about how Eve is in 7, it's in 11, 7 times 11 is 77. Adam is 76 in Strong's Concordance. There's your 577 again. So it's my marriage number, a passed on family member, and somebody whose birthday is the same as the coming total solar eclipse. So this coming Super Bowl just seems to be gigantica. I ran the 577 times 2023 times hang on a second. Yeah, times 2 times 12, which is the Super Bowl. 2 times 12. It's the 43rd day of the year with 322 days remaining. Yep, there's 322 days remaining. You can't make that up. There's 322 days remaining in the year. And I want you to look at the numbers of the 87, the 88. And remember, that was Eve. Look at the 22 of the divorce date, 38 murder code, 888, 38 murder code here. In between the two 38s is 78888 22. And remember, when you take Eve in Strong's Concordance Old Testament times Eve in Strong's Concordance New Testament, you get the 88, the 87, or the 872, which is her marriage to me, her marriage number to me out 3 digits. 88 is her marriage to me out 2 digits. 87 is her original marriage number. Oops, there's 2 of those. But remember, my stepdaughter, or her daughter, has the 138, the 88, and the 86. Yeah, but she and I combined have her mom's marriage number right in the heart. Her next marriage, her mom's next marriage progression. And remember, her mom and her dad also have the 87, 87, 873, 871. So first marriage and the coming potential third marriage, all coded. Let's get back on track. That was a sidebar, sorry. So the 577, my marriage number, 5 times 7154, which is GOD. It's got the 57. So just do the 577. Again, times 2, February, times 12, the 12th, the Super Bowl. You're already at 138.48. 48 is Donald Trump. In reverse ordinal, I think it is. 138 is Donald Trump in English ordinal or simple gematria times 2023 times 322 left in the year. There's the 88, of course. All right, and then finally it's the 43rd day of the year. And that's that 87, the 88, all of that. There's 223 for the year. There's a lot of stuff coded in there. Lots. What is the 66th day of the, oh yeah, we'll get to that. 66th day of the year is the full moon of March 7th. Book of Revelation, 66th book of the Bible. March 5th, transfer portals back to 11/17/220. Along with, don't forget, stepdaughter is 9/11 fused with 11/7. I got the 22, the 5, the 22. Mayday with 138 and the 22. Remember, 22 is murder code. And it was when we 86 the 88, or the Lord did. And because 8 minutes, 38 seconds, 83 and 38 are both murder codes in gematria, and 8 minutes, 38 seconds plus the 22 seconds is how you get to the perfect 9 minutes. March 5th is 2 days before a full moon, the worm full moon. And stepdaughter will be 9/11, 9, or 9/11 frontwards and backwards, or 9/11 fused with 119 Donald in the Jewish gematria. These are days that if nothing is going to happen in February, that is a primary time frame for us. And it is basically let's take a look at it. It's 30 days away. And if you look at it from the Super Bowl, then let me see, and I'll check real quick. It's 21 days from the Super Bowl. And the rising would be 23 days. And Valentine's to the rising goes back to 21 days. The 86ing, or potential blackout day, 22 days. These dates all bounce off of each other, so we just have to be aware of all of that. I shouldn't have gotten out of that because I had this set up for something. I can't remember what it was. Hopefully we'll find out. Oh, Marlon Brando. That's what it was. That our former contributor talked about. We'll get to that. Now, our new contributor has a lot of items too that all point to Super Bowl Sunday. They don't email them to me like the old contributor did as a list that I can show you. We started phone contact and it's just coming over the phone. But it's palpable. It's amazing. Everything that connects to Super Bowl Sunday. It's mind-boggling. Sirius, the dog star rising to the Super Bowl, is a perfect 185 days, which divides evenly by 37. It's the fifth progression. If you do not include both dates, remember, well, let's include both dates. If you go to the blackout day of the 13th, why do I call it blackout day? Why do I call the day after Super Bowl blackout day? Because the day after Super Bowl is 1322. It's in blue right here. That's what was on the clock. 1322. And that's the date when you write it backwards like they do in most countries. 13 first, then the month, and then 2023. I've taken out the zeros, obviously. There's your 1322 coded. That's Valentine's Eve, by the way, and that's when Lupercalia begins, the 3-day celebration, 13th, 14th, 15th. When is Fat Tuesday again? Anyway, I'll Google Fat Tuesday from here. But it's 186 days from when Sirius the dog star rose and the double midpoint of 2 total lunars, 2 total solars. If you include both dates, to the blackout day of 1322. That's 186 days, 186. On the 15th, the end of Lupercalia, if you include both dates, is 188. It's 188. It's 188. 18 and an 88 fused together. Okay. And on that date of it's, if you don't include both dates, that turns it into February 16th. That is 188. It has the 186 on Valentine's Day itself. That's 214 and 216. What do we mean by that? February 14th is 214, second month, 14th day. And the 214th verse of Revelation is the deadly wound verse of Revelation 13:3. It's the first time deadly wound is mentioned. It's mentioned 3 times in Revelation 13, which is your 666 chapter. He would rise on February 16th if he goes down on Valentine's Day, or 214, and would rise on 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6. So there's so much to look at. The blackout is commencing right there. You see the video. Philadelphia Eagles. That's this past year. So our former contributor, like I was telling you, Marlon Brando, let's go back to that. His birthday, 3611 on Valentine's Day. 1186 months, 11 days. So you got 911 coded with 86. It's just in the hours, it's 86, 666, and then a 4. That's on Valentine's Day. It's on the 13th if you include both dates. From Marlon Brando, who was Mr. Apocalypse Now and The Godfather, the Don Corleone. Come on. And the death of Marlon Brando, I remember our former contributor talking about his death to Super Bowl Sunday. It's 18711, all fused together. 187 fused with 711. It's 18 years, 7 months, 11 days to the Super Bowl, or 223 months and 11 days. That's 311 coded. It's 22 coded. Again, we've shown you 22 is all about murder. 86 and of the 88. It'd be 16802 on Valentine's Day. It would be you know, the day at whatever. Let's just keep going. Michael Jackson's This Is It came out, was allegedly to come out on October 28th, 2016. To the Super Bowl, it's 2298. It's an even 2300 on Valentine's Day. $223 of 2021 to the Super Bowl. I can't remember what that was. Our new contributor told me about something, and now I didn't document what it was, and I can't remember. That somebody did something on February 23rd, 2021. You do know there is a Chinese nuclear balloon over the United States that they're psyoping. We told you about Sirius. We did that one. The Eagles blackout game this past year, how it was 77 days to this coming Super Bowl. 2 months, 16 days, 216 coded. And the blackout Super Bowl to this Super Bowl is 3661 days away. You do get to 366 on the 17th. If you include both dates, the blackout Super Bowl to him going down on Valentine's Day and rising on 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. That blackout is 3666 days away when you include both dates. You look at 120 months, 14 days. That's 121 fused with 214, which is what in the world was that? This one, the total solar eclipse that sat in the middle of the two total solar eclipses that makes the X across America. When we run that to the Super Bowl, by the way, it's 790. It's 212 coded with 9. 2 years, 1 month, 29 days. That's 2129. It's 212, the date and the area code of Manhattan. 790. What is 790? Well, that is second wife times 14308. 790. What else is in her number there? 311 is. Is that the 311? When she turns when it's 790 days from that midpoint? Let's run that midpoint to 3/5, March 5th, since we are sort of keeping that in mind. It's 811. 8 times 11 is 88. It's 2219 days. If you include both dates, it turns into 812, which was when Sirius rose, and it turns into 222 coding, 2 years, 2 months, 2 days. Don't include both dates if he goes down on 3/5 and rises on 3/7 during the full moon, because you always have to remember 2 days before a full moon. That's a cipher. It's 2 years, 2 months, 21 days. 2221. That'll be a big date to look at moving forward, that whole March 5th to March 7th. Because of the two gigantic ciphers, stepdaughter's number, and how many days old she will be on potential event, and then subsequent 2 days later rising, along with always having to look at 2 days before a full moon because of IPEC GOAT. But getting back to this Super Bowl and IPEC GOAT, by the way, Ruth Bader Ginsburg looks just like her abortion law and all that's coming out with. It's fascinating how I saw that in one video. I can't remember who it was. I watch a lot of videos. Yep, abortion. That's what that's about right there. Looks just like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, or caricatures of her. The moon with Obama, that is that waning crescent, which is all in play at the Super Bowl through the 216 dates we're looking at. And, 216 rising on 218, numbers that work. It just whatever the Lord has planned, that they have to follow the script that we follow. God's ordained every bit of this. God's ordained all the evil on the earth. The Antichrist has a job to do, and that's to cleanse the church. We all through much tribulation enter the kingdom. Well, that's 14:22. That's Acts 14:22. We just got through showing you the 14:22 being coded in those numbers. The Great Trib is for the church. The Antichrist's job is to cleanse the church. When you go to the Word of God, and first of all, we know that God has declared this is what sets us apart from all these other YouTube channels. I think all of them are controlled opposition. They're either straight AI channels, or when somebody's talking, they're getting their information from the AI, and they're front men posing as humans organically coming up with all this decoding and whatever they're doing. God's declared the end from the beginning. That means all the evil in it. It's all about his counsel. It says he's declared the end from the beginning, from ancient times, of the things that are not yet done. Well, Revelation's been declared, and yet it hasn't occurred yet. Everything's spoken into existence. The word was from before the foundation of the world. That's where Abraham's faith comes from. Faith is the calling. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. The word of God is Jesus, and Jesus said, "My sheep hear my voice." True faith is the true calling, and the subsequent true repentance, where the Lord beats the world out of you. God does it all in his sheep. Sheep don't do anything with free will. Free will's satanic doctrine. And then you go to Isaiah 45:7. God says, "I form light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things." The evil is about what is the final act of the church going through the Great Tribulation and the cleansing. Proverbs 16:4 says, The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. What's the day of evil? Abomination of desolation. That kicks off the great tribulation. God's made every bit of this. Sheep are good with it. I'm good with it. God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Jesus said, not my will, Father, but your will be done. Jesus was God in the flesh. That could be a waxing or waning crescent. I don't think it's an eclipse. Speaking of eclipse, did you know that if you run all of this to 2024, nothing happens until the election year? They do have a Donnie Darko October 2nd annular solar eclipse. It's not a total solar. The total solar is 4/8, which is Trump in gematria. Reverse ordinal, I think it is. But you've got your Donnie Darko, October 2nd, 2024. And when that time comes, we will all say it was sitting there all along. Yeah. That would be when he would rise, because he would go down on when? September 30th. What is September 30th? What's my numbers? 2 times 24 times 27 times 38 times 42 times 45. There's your 930 right there with my stepdaughter's number 3078, which is what divides evenly by 37, and 872. Her mom's marriage number to me, which got 86th. Don't ever think this stuff can't last all the way through 2024's election year. 3078. Yep, her number is 113886 divided by 37, 3078. I would be looking at that October 2nd annular solar eclipse so hard. Oh my goodness. Because what if that's what's in iPet Goat? What if that's what we're looking at when we see Obama? Not Obama, I'm sorry. When we see bin Laden summoning those spirits, what if that's an annular solar eclipse? But it looks like a lunar eclipse, doesn't it? It does look more like a lunar eclipse or a waning or waxing crescent. So just always be on your toes, right? What else is left? How old would Trump be on September 30th? $2024. 285.98. Golly. That means on October 2nd, he's 286. That's the score of the Blackout. The score was 28-6. It's Dr. Pepper 1024. What if he's going down at 286 and rises on 4, which is Dr. Pepper 1024? You know how possible that is, don't you? Extremely. Because it's the year 2024. It's October 2nd through the 4th in 2024. $78 years, 3 months, 18 days. 3:18. Revelation 1:3-1:8 is 666 verse. That's palpable right there. That's so nutty. If you go to the X across America midpoint to next year's 2024 October 2nd date, we'll say it's 138.88. If you go to the April 8th total solar, it's 177, which we've just shown you is heavy, heavy, heavy Eve coding. The rising would be 179 days. If you include both dates, you got your perfect 180. Or 18 with a 0, so you got your perfect 18, which is 6 + 6 + 6. Now, if he goes down now, this could all be your abomination of desolation time frames. But you have to keep in mind, stuff might not happen anytime soon. It might not happen on March 5th. It might be all the way until October of 2024, which how many days is that starting today? 69, 609, 609 days. Subsequent rising. Well, no, that is the rising. It would be 1 year, 8 months, 1 day when the book of Revelation would be open from right now when we're speaking about it. Potential day he would go down, 607, 1 year, 7 months, 29 days. 86 weeks, 5 days. It's just possible. We just have to keep in mind all this stuff. Let's go to your comments. Johann Francis, February 12th, looks big. Apparently, Trump comes back on this day. There is a court case. Yeah, the court case, our new contributor is saying it's the arrest of Dr. Walter Trump. Is it Dr. Walter Trump? Yeah. In that TV show Trackdown, that they've tracked him down. They have arrested him. They have shot him dead. They are going to shoot him. Biden, Kamala are all going to round him up and shoot him with this arrest. Like Trump was at his arrest, was shot in that TV show at the end of the TV show. It's called Trackdown. Trump Trackdown episode, full episode. That's it. Notice the 666 Yoni right there. Right there. He says the name Trump and flashes the Yoni at that exact moment. Fascinating. Let's hit it at normal speed and watch the Yoni. I'll turn off the subtitles.
I can go elsewhere. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Mr. Trump.
Mr. Trump.
He don't talk
He don't talk for all of us.
for the rest of us. Can you prove he's wrong?
I don't know, can you?
Well, no, not right now, but if you give me some time.
So I guess I missed the 666 part or the Yoni because I don't know. Hang on. AI messing with us. Hang on. Well, it's at the 636. He'll flash the Yoni. It was
Can you
coming up.
prove he's wrong?
And then he'll say, according to him, he will point to him and flash the Yoni, the divine feminine.
No, not right now,
Not right now, but in 3 seconds. Watch the Yoni.
but if you give me some time. Well, that's something we don't have very much of. According to him.
According to him. And as he points to Trump, he's flashing the Yoni, which is exactly what they do in, the Devil's Advocate. That guy flashes the Yoni, who is sitting in Trump's penthouse as the construction Trump character involved or being accused of a shooting, which is what the Devil's Advocate is to do, is to get him off the hook. Anyway, stepdaughter would be 9694, 9694. If he was to go down on October 2nd. You guessed it, on the rising day, 9696. Which I've already told you what the 96 is about. Taking something low and spitting it out high. The 9 is the low. It scoops it, spins it around, and spits it out. It takes something that's bad and turns it good. Got a 69 right in the middle. 9696. That's her number. Or how many days old she is. 1385 weeks. It's good. This could all be about at that time. Which means we go through another college football season and another NFL season. And you have to get to Super Bowl 58, which is 58 heavily coated with the amount of bedrooms at Mar-a-Lago and the amount of floors at Trump Tower. It's just mind-boggling to think about all of that. Is it not? Skyfall, 11-11-6, 9/11 coded backwards and upside down, 4359 days. Remember 4359. The 359 is 501 May Day backwards. May Day is May 1st or 501 or 51, but it's 501, 5 minutes 1 second plus 3 minutes 59 seconds makes the perfect 9 minutes. So that is May Day coded heavily with the 11-11-6 all on the offing day. If you go to Donnie Darko, 8377. Murder code with Eve 77, 22 years, 11 months, 6 days. Again, 9/11. It is 9/11 with a 22 backwards and forwards. On the rising day of the 4th, if you include both dates, it's 8380. 22-11-9. What's really been there right in front of us all along? Potentially that. This is potentially what's been there all along. If you look at Donnie Darko release on 1/19 at Sundance, 86. To the offing day, 8657. If you include both dates, 8658. There's your 58 again. Let's just go to 9/11. (8/4/22). if you include both dates, 23 years, 22 days, or 2322 coded. 2322 coded. I can't take it. Can't take it. His rising from 9/11, 84-24. 23 years, 23 days. That's LeBron's number and Michael Jordan's number. It's just absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it? On the 86ing day, if it's 2024, on the annular solar, I'm 23,099, just about to flip. May Day is 143.99. So on the rising day, as I'm 2301, then May Day will be 144.01. So it's just a lot to look at. Let's continue on your comments call tonight. I gotta go eat. I'm about to pass out. Germany to send 88 Leopard 1 tanks to Ukrainian. Politico 9 hours ago. Berlin OK's German arms. 2A6, which is 216. The newer Leopard, the 2A6, which is 216. However, the thing that caught my eye was the 88. Yeah, it's gigantic eye-catching. Nice job, Christian. Thank you for that contribution. The spy balloon, Chinese spy balloon called Delivery Platform. EMP attack, more seen near Hawaii and Guam. EMP equals blackout, I guess in gematria, or almost at Super Bowl 57, 10 years, 10 days, Super Bowl blackout, Destiny's or where Destiny's Child performs, Spear of Destiny. 10 is completion of the Bible. 1010 or XX. Definitely seems they are planting a seed of a blackout type event, which of course will be blamed on CHI NA. Yeah. Or the Russians, or anybody else they can muster. Sheep to believe. Good job. Yep. ISIS, Syria, Iran, Turkey. It's good stuff, Christian. Thank you. It's a big one there. I probably won't read all of this just because it's I'm about to pass out. I'm starving so bad. Hi, Trace. I was just thinking about New York Unveiled. Golden Medusa, Rihanna's hair looks like that. Yep. And he's already told us about that, and I have too. So that's a very big tell. Something's up. Lot's wife turned into a pillar. Medusa, petrified stone. Kidney stones, technology, nuclear football, radiation, butterfly. Good stuff. Y'all could read that comment. It's an entirety at part 2 of your comments. And Christian says, I can read all of this one here. Just came across this, found it interesting. Supposedly the balloonary one is talking about was seen over Kansas, Wizard of Oz. Not Kansas anymore. Let's follow the yellow brick road. Kansas City Chiefs. Pentagon confirms Chinese balloon is passing west across America. All that good stuff. If we have to wait, thank you, Christian, for your comments. If we have to wait to 2024 Who's going to be your teams? Is it going to be Alabama back in this thing? Is Florida going to get this amazing quarterback from LSU as a transfer and Florida's team? Because they're Devil's Advocate University fusing in the championship with Ghost in the Machine University. That would just be fascinating for this Gator fan, formerly. LOL. That would mean Year of the Dragon for the Trump event. And who would be your pro teams? Since the Phoenix already rose from the ashes in Phoenix the year before, when they're laughing at us because we're all thinking with all their coding and breadcrumbs, that was a perfect hit. Who would your teams be? I'd take Dallas, America's team, without a doubt. Been waiting all this time. Who would they play? I don't know. I mean, would Joe Burrow finally get his Super Bowl victory? Cool Joe representing Joe Namath, who is the Jets. If we go one more time, just for giggles, let's look at the November 17th Heidi game. $1968. It's a 248 or 20408. 55 years, 10 months, 15 days. 670 months, 15 days. If you run it by this coming Super Bowl, 198.01. It's a lot to look at it in there. Whoops, I didn't make it this Super Bowl, I'm sorry. It's 19810 to the Super Bowl, the Heidi Bowl. The next day, blackout and all that, it's 19811. I don't know. There's a lot going on, but then again, it could all be smoke screens, and off to the election year we go. Love y'all.